Alright. Whenever you're streaming from your PlayStation, when the game crashes, your stream stops. Doesn't happen on the Xbox though. Yeah, Levy, rip indeed. Amateur Tech, a lot like AC1, isn't it? So what's that in response to, Amateur Tech? Sorry, there's so much conversation going on in chat that I can't even keep up with it, so I don't know what you might have been referring to with your comment there. So for those watching the VOD, the reason why I didn't have my usual introduction to the start of the stream is because the previous stream crashed because the game crashed, which means that this is part 2 of the playthrough. Part 1 was enough of a time sink that I didn't want to just keep this stream going and just keep it named part 1. I'm not counting that. Number 1, because I was actually climbing up when the character for some reason got stuck and couldn't climb up further.
Libération! Mort aux Espagnols! Rentrez chez vous!
Mantengan la posición! Mantengan la posición!
Alright, so I need to incite a riot. So I need to be on the ground to do this, so the challenge rules don't apply while doing this part.
Le gouverneur!
I'm in the mood for an uprising. We should teach our master.
Thanks for the welcome back, Levy.
Aye! Must be drawn here. Let's show them what we are made of.
Get them! Get them! They won't know what hit them. Get them!
The
We'll
line
get these
must be
louds.
drawn here.
I've received a very, exciting piece of intelligence. A gunpowder delivery. It's on its way to a city outpost. Unless we, intercept it.
I'm not dressed for interception. Do I have time to change?
Yes. Assume you're true, guys. Get your weapons and we'll go.
We? You're coming too? You do realize it might get dangerous.
Yes, well, someone needs to navigate.
Dressed like that? Gerard,
Aveline, I'll have you know I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty. Why should you have all the excitement?
I didn't know you wanted.
I know what you think. Blanc the sensible, Blanc the boring. I'm more than just an accountant, Aveline.
Very well. You're a navigator too. A regular Magellan.
Alright, so let's climb up. Alright, so we can touch the ground now to speak to Gerald.
There is the carriage. You know what to do with the guards. I'll wait here.
Alright, so let's climb up here now.
Hey!
Oh, that's okay, Beyonder, for the lurk. Thank you for doing that. And yeah, sorry I haven't responded to every single comment that you've made about the programming side of things with Assassin's Creed and all that kind of stuff. But it just goes to show there's so much stuff that's going on with the inner workings of things like that than you might be able to tell just simply from playing the game. Yeah, Kenway, that's fair enough. Levy, we're making apple waffles right now on a different note. Oh, you are? Oh, cool. That sounds delicious, Levy. That's awesome. So this next bit, we have to steal the carriage. There's going to be a carriage chase sort of thing. So obviously the challenge rules don't apply for this. So all I need to do is just drop down as close as possible to it without touching the ground. There we go.
They're stealing the gunpowder! Stop them! Stop them!
Oh! The road ahead is blocked. Turn right.
Where are we going?
Near the docks. Turn right here. Left, left, left. That was close.
You want the ring?
Ah! Right, right. That's it. Turn right again.
Hold on to your hat.
I'm not wearing one. Straight ahead. Go left. No other left. Turn right. No, go left.
I'm not worried
go
about the
left.
optional objective for this playthrough. But just for those who are,
Left
don't
at the
listen
next
to what
intersection.
Gerald says with his lefts and rights, because he's
Go
always
left.
wrong.
I can't!
Or if he's
What
not
now?
wrong, his timing is off.
Now! On the horse! Now!
What?
Jump!
Help! Help!
The warehouse is on fire! The roof
All
will
right.
collapse!
This doesn't count in the challenge rule. There we go.
Can't get out! Help! Help! À l'aide! On va mourir! Help! Help!
Merci! Merci! Merci!
Well, I think we got their attention. A terrible waste of wine, mind you.
Spanish wine makes better floor polish anyway. Now, to get Ulloa out of La Balise.
I suggest we regroup at the warehouse to strategize.
Enough excitement for one day, Gerald?
Yes, I think that should last me nicely. Thank you.
All right, that's it done. Not inside of memory now, so the challenge rules don't apply. That's okay, Beyonder. No trouble at all. I definitely will enjoy the game. It's one of those ones that I do like to revisit. I think I also did a playthrough of this before my annual playthrough of it earlier this year as well. This is probably my third playthrough of it this year alone. But I like to play it too because I feel like it's a game that should get some more eyes on it. Especially because of Aveline as a character. I think it's good for people to know that there are other female characters in the series besides Cassandra. Oh, well that's good, Beyonder, as well, that you want to play it too. Yeah, yes, it's Sophia and Montreal, yeah. But yeah, if you want to get like all the stuff in the game though, definitely make sure you take advantage of the trade ship stuff, because it's a good way to actually get money. Like, it might take a while to start with when you first start using it, but over time you'll start to get more profit after each sort of delivery is made. Oh really, Beyond the Force? Yeah, that's fair enough.
Ah, Aveline, to draw Ulloa out, we can hit the Spanish where it hurts, in the flotilla. 2 military vessels are anchored at the port. If anything were to happen to them, Ulloa could not ignore it.
I'll see what I can arrange.
Alright, so the game has put me on the ground here automatically. I'm allowed to swim in water. I haven't counted that as being ground. Yeah, Beyonder. Yeah, he's actually voiced by the same actor who plays Latouche in Assassin's Creed Unity. That's why it sounds familiar, yeah. Yeah, it's so cool when you have multiple characters in a series voiced by the same person. That's okay, Beyonder. Yeah. I mean, I felt what they set up with Layla in Origins was fine. But I think with Odyssey, they missed an opportunity to actually develop the character a bit more by showing us the scene where she actually decides that she wants to become an assassin. And then once she makes that decision, show us what happens in modern times when someone becomes an assassin. Like, do they have even any ceremony at all? Do they have like a little initiation thing? Like, not an initiation where you have to do something specific, but like an actual, you know, welcome to the assassins kind of thing. And it would have been good to actually play her first mission as an assassin and actually have to deal with, you know, the perimeter of the building and looking at the surveillance and taking out guards and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Make it like a mini Splinter Cell kind of thing. I think they missed that opportunity as well with Layla in the follow-up to Origins. You know, do things that showed aspects of her evolution as a character. But Odyssey is just like, yeah, we'll just skip over a few weeks or a few months of her life after the end of Origins and then call it a day. And then the dialogue choice system was terrible for present day. Like, as much as I don't like the dialogue choice system in general in Odyssey, the thing about it is, though, having it in present day is where I felt it was, you know, pointless to have it. But yeah, there's a few things that I thought about Layla that they could have done in the follow-up to Origins, but they just didn't, of course. But yeah, I like what they did with Layla in Valhalla, though. Alright, I've got to count that as a thing. Hey there, Afro. How's things going?
Êtes-vous une sorte d'ange?
Wow!
There we go. water's not ground, so I'm allowed to jump into the water. Beyonder, here's your take on Layla. In Origins, what if Layla was this person who was in the Animus? He keeps interacting with a dude online who seems to... keeps interacting with a dude online who seems to facilitate her progress. As the story progresses, we learn she's a Templar, but the person facilitating her progress talks like an assassin. So now we're playing through the game with that need for reconciliation. The dynamic would be an upstart trying to prove herself versus a dismissive veteran. Later we realise that it's William Miles. So... would that then mean that it's part of William Miles trying to get her to be an assassin instead? Oh yeah, and Layla's basically trying to be an assassin while being a Templar. Oh, okay. It ends with Layla being outed.
You have no
And William with assassins come to rescue her. Done, and now we go to Odyssey, etc. Dies in Valhalla probably. Yeah. Alright, here we go. Beyond to see a much better start of the character. Alright, so the game has kept me on here automatically. So I'm going in the water. The original wanted to have her agency on display, but they're afraid to give her character development. They want her to be strong right away. Okay, you gotta go. That's okay, Beyonder. Your version starts with Layla as a weak character, yeah, but capable and ends up needing to learn more, giving rise for her arc on the next two games, yeah. So in a way, it's like how Desmond had to experience the memories of Ezio to learn the skills of an assassin, but very quickly, kind of thing.
She'll get away!
I am done
Hurry!
here.
She's winning! You! Stop! She's escaping!
Beyond a Daedalus and a Icarus, basically. Exactly, so that's why Desmond works. Anyways, gotta lurk, gotta go. Yeah. And for killing off Desmond was the dumbest thing Ubisoft ever did. Yeah, I could definitely see that as being considered a dumb decision. I wish they actually let it... I don't have much of a problem with the way it ended, but... maybe it would have been better if they had it be like an unknown thing. Like... did Desmond actually die? You know, and have that be a question that they could answer in a different game. But obviously in Black Flag, like, we see that he's dead in 3, and then in Black Flag they're like, yeah, he's definitely dead. Like what they're smoking back then, you have one main character. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing too, like, you're talking about ending, like... the thing about that is, where could they have gone with Desmond after that? Because they were... the problem with AC3 is they were obviously wanting to tie up Desmond's story, but still allow other stories to be told still. And so they figured that the only way to move forward, I guess, was to kill Desmond off. But there could have been a way to keep him still involved and stuff. But then it would be a question of, okay, so if Desmond didn't die at the end of AC3, what would the next game story with him be about? You know, what would things carry on with? Because I mean, granted, the series in present day went a bit like it was a bit like it was there was no like guiding force behind it. There was no ultimate end goal with it. You know, they needed to make something more finite. But they were just like, oh, you know, we'll just do this, and then the next game, how about we do this, and then the next game, how about we do that? Instead of being like, right, what do we want to work towards? You know, we work towards Desmond becoming as good of an assassin as he possibly could, and he needed to stop the world from ending, you know. But in Black Flag, the present day character is just some nobody. Then in Rogue, some nobody. Unity, some nobody. Syndicate, some nobody. You know, they weren't sure what to do with the present day series or protagonist at that point. It was just like, what can we just do to have a present day, you know? And I'm not against what they did with Black Flag and, you know, all that kind of stuff, but I mean to say, ultimately the character that you play as in that doesn't go anywhere after that game. Right? There's nothing to be built around them or anything like that. Let's actually see. Will it let me shoot that dude? There we go. Let's make him go berserk. Afro, you just don't just kill him off. Yeah. But yeah, if they still kept him alive, they'd have to come up with another story. Like, if Desmond didn't die to stop the world from ending, you know, what would the next story be? Double assassinate? Good. That worked out well. Amateur tech. Realistically, they could bring Desmond back with the Apple of Eden, showing him having a potential path if he did die to save the Earth. You actually enjoyed Desmond as a progressing character. Yeah. Yeah, the idea of what could have happened, you know. I mean, the Isu, the ones who came before, their technology allowed them to project into multiple futures by doing calculations. The same way you would do calculations to see which is the better option for like a route to go. You know, you might do a calculation and then the route might not be that quick. And so you go, okay, what's another calculation I could make? Oh, this path would actually be quicker, you know. Except their ability to do that's on a more massive and also minute scale. Like literally being able to go, what if we did this? How would that affect things 50,000 years from our time period, you know? And literally see a projection of that calculated. Be like, nah, we don't want that outcome.
Joe!
Recognize me now, Capitan?
No. Yuri. El Cat. Medusa! Men! Subdue her at once! Please, have mercy. I'll trouble you no further. I'll give up ale and ragwater. I'll mutton monger no more. I'll go to church. Please, leave me now to my sad, monkish end.
You mistake me for your judge and executioner, Brother Dominguez. Save yourself, if you're not too slow with liquor.
Alright. We're not inside a memory, so I'm allowed to touch the ground. Amateur Tech, if Desmond didn't die, he'd say the modern day plot would be forced to take a more center stage and the Creed exits the Animus. The mission replays could be an apple of Eden that shows possibilities. Yeah, I mean, that could have been a way to play it in the present day scenario. I think another thing they could have done is Desmond decides to actually experience memories of the ones who came before. And in so doing, comes across different versions of the reality that the Isu were experiencing. Where they would actually, do a calculation. And then Desmond could experience the memory of the Isu who was actually doing the calculation and exploring the possibility of it. They could have also done something like that. Or go with one of the ideas they had originally, which was that Desmond doesn't need the Animus anymore to experience memories. Adrian, Assassin's Creed likes its exploding ships. It sure does. It's funny what they do with the explosions in this game too. They create like a orb shimmering effect over it. To take playing the ones that came before sounds like playing Far Cry Primal. Actually, that's something that would be interesting. I wouldn't want them to make it a full game, but they could have done a little sequence where we actually see the first humans that the Isu created, and we experience the memories of one of the first created humans. Adrian, a game with SSD tech where you can freely switch between the past and the present would have been cool, sort of like the Dark World in Zelda. Yeah, the way that worked in the Zelda games was really cool. And how there were some things that you interacted with in the game that were affected when you went to the other version of the place. Adrian, you remember Sheepdog and Wolf on PS1, a Looney Tunes game, had 2 levels with a time travel mechanic. Using an Acme gadget to travel between past and present. Example, you plant a seed in the past and you get a tree to climb in the present. That's really, really cool and inventive. I never actually knew that was a game. A Looney Tunes game. That's cool. There's been a few Looney Tunes games that I've played in the past that I liked. Since I'm not inside a memory, I'm allowed to touch the ground.
Mes hommages, mes hommages.
Adrian, the first 3 were on PS1, the last 2 were on Nintendo 64, although it seems people remember the PS1 titles more fondly. Taz Express review scores from back in the day range from 88% to 5%. That game sounds familiar, but I don't think I played that one either. Hey there, Absolution. Please not the Pocket Watch trophy. No. I just wanted to use the trading system just a little bit, because it's been a long time since I even bothered with it at all in a playthrough, so just figured I'd do it just out of curiosity. That's okay, Amateur Tech. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a good one. Thanks again for the raid earlier as well. would like to recommend people check out Amateur Tech if you haven't before. Is doing a playthrough of Tomb Raider 2, one of the old school Tomb Raider games in the series. So doing a stream of that game and also playing through some of the other older Tomb Raider games as well. So highly recommend checking out Amateur Tech's stream if you haven't before. Oh yeah, I can definitely do that. Tech, yeah. I mean, if that's like, I don't mind. Like, if you prefer that, then that's definitely fine. Hey there, Brew 2016. How's things going?
What the hell is that?
That's okay, Tech. Absolutely no trouble at all for the shout out. Awesome. Yeah, it's funny, like sometimes I'll go, like sometimes if someone has a name that has two separate parts, sometimes I'll say the first on its own or the second on its own. But thanks for the suggestion though, because I might alternate between amateur or tech, or just say tech as well. Have a good one, Tech. Alright, time to do the next memory. Oh, that's okay, Absolution. There's no trouble at all. How's things going with you? As for me, I'm having a good weekend. Don't know how much longer I'll stream for, but I definitely don't want to end the stream like now. This stream session is actually due to the previous one stopping automatically because my game crashed. And when you stream from the PlayStation 5, if your game crashes, the broadcast stops. So I actually did quite a few hours already. But I decided after the game crashed and the stream stopped to just call this part 2 of the playthrough.
My students, by now you have surely seen the havoc the rebels wreak. A plan forms in my mind, but we must act fast. To receive your new orders, find me in the graveyard, my last safe refuge in the city. Make haste.
Alright, so now I have to stay off the ground. Oh my god, game. This is the thing that is so annoying, right? Like, they want you to hold down the run button, and if you hold down the run button, the character's supposed to do this. So why the character decided just to drop down when I press no such button to do it always escapes me. So I'm not counting that as messing up, because I was literally holding the right buttons. And whenever I do a challenge with any of these games, or any games in general, if the game does something that is out of my control, or it does something that it shouldn't do even though I'm doing the right thing with the button presses, I don't count that as breaking the challenge rule. So I don't know why the character decided just to drop off of that instead of jump across to the next thing. Yeah, exactly, Adrian. It's like, maybe she just tripped. Alright, so we need to jump to this fence. Jump to this. And I'm allowed to touch the ground in circumstances where there's an objective. I just need to make sure that I get as close as possible to the objective.
Aveline, your face has been scarce around the Bayou. Do you outgrow your need of me?
I came the moment I received your message.
I had a nightmare. I dreamt that you turned... No. Never mind. I wonder if you would humor your old mentor with a show of loyalty.
Agate, I need not humor you. I am loyal. What do you need?
I don't know what you and Monsieur Blanc have been conspiring, but it is clear that now, amid the chaos of the riot, Oyor will finally be forced to leave La Balise and negotiate for peace. Our moment is now. With the kidnapper dead and safety restored, my mission will be complete. I will find peace. There is only one path the governor can take. The others are barricaded or in flames. You must prepare an ambush and strike at just the right moment. Find him and kill him.
I will.
Alright, so we're on the ground automatically, so I can be on the ground, but now have to be off of it.
Everything I need for an ambush.
How did this happen?
Alright, so for this objective, I need to actually drop down to the ground and interact with the explosive barrel so I can pick it up and move it to where the game wants me to. So for this part, the challenge rules don't apply. Alright, so the game has put me on the ground here. So I'm allowed to be on the ground for this part, but I need to get off the ground now. So there we go. Climb up here. There's no time limit for how quickly I have to get off the ground if the game puts me on the ground. But whatever is the closest... Oh my god, game. I'm gonna have to count that one. Fuck!
My students, by now you have surely seen the havoc the rebels wreak. A plan forms in my mind, but we must act fast. To receive your new orders, find me in the graveyard.
Can't skip
my
this
last
dialogue.
safe refuge in the city. Make haste.
I'm not counting that.
Aveline, your face has been scarce around the bayou.
Everything I need for an ambush.
Alright, so I'm allowed to touch the ground to get this barrel and put it in its place. Alright, can't skip this part. So I'll still be on the ground, but I can stay on the ground until I get up something that's as close as possible.
Qui est capable de telles prouesses?
Stop.
I'm not counting that. Fuck you, game. I'm not counting that as a fucking bloody challenge rule fail. Imagine that, doing what the game wants you to do something and yet fucking you over. There's no reason the character should have dropped from that when they always are able to actually grab it. Hate when games pull bullshit on you like that during challenge playthroughs. Things that normally work just don't, for no reason other than the game itself doesn't want it to work in that moment for whatever unknown reason that's out of the player's control. And it's that kind of bullshit that when I'm doing a challenge playthrough of a game, I really, really hate.
Il y a de plus en plus de gens étranges en ville.
See, again, there's no reason why Aveline should have done that. No reason at all. Hey there, Lucinda. Yes, this mission with the timers, because I need to be careful and not land on the ground. I have to be a bit more cautious with where I jump. So that means obviously taking a bit more time to do that. Welcome on in, Lucinda. I hope you're having a good Sunday so far. Well, it's going not too badly. There's been a lot of moments that have been frustrating because the game decides all of a sudden that a character can't do something. And now we have to do all that part again because we got desynchronized. The checkpoint starts at the point where you have to actually traverse to get these things sorted. Like, there's literally been a lot of points where I've done a jump simply by holding down the buttons you need to, and the character's just dropped off of it, and then I've done that same jump again straight after, and they've done the jump properly. So things like that have happened. Of course, I don't count those aspects as breaking the challenge rule. But then, when it gets to the Bayou, it gets a bit trickier, because not every single path that you can take on the trees leads to everywhere. So there's going to be points where you have to touch the ground to actually traverse from one point to the next. So again, the character's not grabbing when they should be. There's no reason why. They should not be grabbing automatically. You don't have to press the manual grab button unless you're falling and you want to grab from something as you fall. Desynced. Have to do that again. Alright, so let's try a different tactic. Pardon me. Lucinda, you woke up just before the alarm. No pain, refreshed, energized, going to be a good day. That's excellent, Lucinda. I'm glad that you've woken up and that you're feeling that way. That would definitely make a big, big difference and an improvement on things.
My students, by now you have surely seen the havoc the rebels wreak. A plan forms in my mind, but we must act fast. To receive your new orders, find me in the graveyard, my last safe refuge in the city. Make haste.
Hey, you! Stop!
Aveline, your face has been scarce around the Bayou.
Everything I need for an ambush.
Alright, so this part we have to kill these enemies without being detected. It's the main objective, so you get desynchronized if you don't do it without being detected. Alright, in this next part we need to pick up an explosive barrel and place it in a certain spot, which means I'm allowed to touch the ground to get that done. Well, sorry, have to push this over first, and then the explosive barrel. Okay, this guy is being a problem for
You
me.
there! Hold!
Why, game, and I'm not counting falling on the ground there, why, game, would you not let me do an air assassinate on the target until it was too late? I call bullshit on that. The game does remember that to do an air assassination right, the target has to be lower than you, and for the actual character to do the assassinate by the air, they need to jump. And there was nothing that was preventing me from jumping and hitting them. Nothing at all. Not counting that. Always fucking happens. It's absolute bullshit. There's no reason why the character can't grab. Alright, now the enemy that was protecting us before is now dead. So we can push this down without that enemy protecting us because they're dead already. Alright, finally got to this point.
We're blocked! There's no way out!
Yeah, listen to this guy. It's like... That took a while. Kill Aloha. Alright, so... I'm allowed to touch the ground as close as possible to the objective.
Please, no. Spare my wife and child.
Like you've spared the lives of slaves and laborers you've ripped from their families?
Yes, they are not harmed, merely transported to Mexico.
Mexico? To what end?
I do not know. I am only an advisor. Please, my wife knows nothing. I told her the convoys were for criminals overflowing from the city jail. She is innocent. Allow me to make amends.
You? Who knows nothing?
I am a man of science. My own southern expeditions required similar tools and manpower. The region is rich with relics predating even the Mayans. Further, I can offer you this. It can be used to decipher secret documents, like this one.
I will turn my back now and walk away. If you would like to keep your life, you will remove yourself from this continent, never to be seen again.
Thank you. Thank you for your mercy.
Mercy. This is not mercy. I merely leave you to contend with the arsenal of your own employers. A life of hiding awaits you. Go, and wallow in your false freedom.
Alright, so the game has kept me on the ground here. So I'm allowed to be on the ground. Now I'm not.
Were you successful?
Gouverneur Ulloa gave me this trophy.
Ah, a valuable find. This makes Ulloa's death an incredible victory for the Assassin Brotherhood. I only wish I could have witnessed it myself. Tell me, what were his last words?
Thank you for your mercy.
What? You mean to say he is free? This is how you choose to prove your loyalty to me? By disobeying my direct order? By letting our enemy run free?
My mentor, you are consumed by bloodlust. We share a common goal. Free the slaves, defeat our enemies, impose justice. We now have the tools we need to advance in our mission. I must follow our enemy to Mexico, now.
You will do no such thing!
If you will not see it, I must follow my own instincts.
What is an assassin without discipline? You will regret your insubordination.
I'll take that chance.
Agate, agate, agate. All you had to do was just basically talk to Aveline and say why certain things need to be done the way that you're wanting them to be done. Not withholding information. Which is what he does a lot. It's like, Aveline, don't do this. Why? I'm not going to tell you why. Just don't do it. There's something I want to tell you, Aveline. No, never mind. Like important information that would be good for Aveline to know. Like, why did he want Ulloa specifically assassinated for? You know, he doesn't tell Aveline. So Aveline is just going off of, well, I'll give this guy his life, but it's not like he's going to be free because he has to watch his back for the rest of his life. Lucinda, finally. He was smart to stay under the awnings. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Because one of the awnings as well wasn't one that you would think the character would be crouched on, but they were, which is normally what happens when there's like you're on like a top of a tree stump or something.
Come on, fight, try.
He's like, come on, fight, try. I mean, like this. Alright, I think there's something in the bayou that I wanted to get. Or maybe I can't get it yet. Hang on. Listen, the enemies talk a lot of crap. You say, if you can catch me, you can fight me. Then if they catch you, oh, you want to die first? Okay. Yeah, they think they're so good, and you're kicking their ass, and they're about to die, and they're like, you'll never defeat me. I'm so much better than you. Ha! You call yourself a fighter.
Aveline, Agate warned me of your flight to Mexico. Do you intend to abandon your business and the slaves in New Orleans? What about your family?
My father sends me to Cuba to find suppliers, with his blessing. And you're more than fit to run the business in my absence. I must follow our enemy.
And when were you going to tell me?
I couldn't risk you trying to stop me.
Is this all you see in me? Business? Orders? Aveline, I care for you.
Gerald, don't be angry. You know we cannot mix feelings with work. I had hoped to spare...
Since I know I cannot stop you, is there any last assistance I can provide?
I admit my plan to board this ship is clumsy.
There's a compound nearby, where slaves are held. Slaves bound to Mexico. You can gain access to the ship by blending with them.
I won't be able to take my weapons.
Well, how will you defend yourself? Right. Silly question. I'll hold them for you until your return.
Thank you, Gerald. You're a true friend.
Hang on a minute. I thought I'd pour myself a new drink while that cutscene was playing, forgetting that it goes in the gameplay afterwards, and the enemies are like, fight! Alright, so the game put me on the ground automatically. So, it's okay to be on the ground. Are we actually inside of memory? Or not? Current memory. Oh yeah, we are. It's just they haven't put a marker on the screen. Alright, from here on out though, I need to be on the rooftops and stuffs. Lucinda, what you drinking? Or did you have your pizza the other day? If so, what did you end up putting on it? Yes, so I'm currently drinking Pepsi. Just the regular Pepsi. And as for the pizza, I managed to get it. I had it for lunch though. Not dinner. But it was really delicious. And I ended up going for a barbecue meat lovers one half, and then the other half I went with the barbecue chicken. Which was really, really cool. Hey there, Brutus. You also drinking Pepsi, your favourite drink? Yeah, I alternate between that and Coca-Cola. It just simply depends on what is on sale. Out of the two.
Oh yes! Come here and show me how you fuck.
Absolutely delicious, Lucinda. Pizza's awesome. How would you think now you're going to order one for dinner? I don't blame you for wanting. Okay, so now that I need to change the slave persona, I'm allowed to touch the ground as long as I'm close enough to this.
Tracker! Even I'm just a girl.
Alright. I'm not counting being on the ground when that interaction happened. As in, it must feel nice to use melee weapons again. It really is, yeah, after doing that ranged challenge with AC3 beforehand. The way his body ragdolled.
It is going to cost you.
Alright, changing the melee, the slave persona. That really fucking annoys me. You don't think the character's gonna grab, and in the instant they grab, you instinctually press the button to grab,
Aveline.
which makes them drop. Alright. So, the good thing about this memory is that it considers the start of the memory the same position, but because we had already actually changed into the slave persona, that's not a requirement anymore. So now I don't have to travel all the way to where I traveled to get that outfit on. Lucinda, I do that a lot, compensating. Absolutely. It's just so annoying too, because sometimes the character won't grab automatically. You know what I mean? So you don't really know what it's going to do. If it's going to do it automatically or not.
Miss! Stop that at once!
Yeah, it's good how that worked out. I'm glad when that works out like that. It's good not to have to change into the slave persona again. Alright, so I'm allowed to hit the ground when there's a marker for an objective.
What do you think you're doing?
Alright, now I need to get up.
Hey, stop that! Hey, stop that!
Stop that at once! 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 Once! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! The NPC enemies. Stop that at once! Stop that at once! Blend into the groups and remain undetected by randomly jumping into them. Alright, close enough. Stop that at once. Stop that at once. Thanks for redeeming that, Lucinda. Alright, so I need to tail the slave group, but remain undetected. So I'm allowed to be on the ground until I can get here. There we go. Nice blend indeed. That's one way to blend in. Just choke someone out. That'll help you blend in very, very well.
I saw that.
No, you didn't.
Gone. Just.
Right now I need to board the ship. Okay, so water is not ground, so I'm allowed to jump into the water. Is this all I am to you, Aveline? Business? Orders? I care for you. Thanks for being a great friend, Gerald. Firm in her belief and confident that she can put an end to the machinations of her enemies, Aveline disobeys Agate and boards a slave ship bound to an unknown location. This decision further strains their relationship. So I didn't actually find out until it was pointed out to me earlier, but these notes were actually not in the very original release of this game on the PlayStation Vita. They actually added this in when they first released this on the Xbox 360 and the PS3, the HD version, which is then kept for the remastered version that I'm playing now, that you get with Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered. Yeah, I thought so too, actually, Lucinda. So imagine not knowing this information, because it really does help you understand some stuff as you go from one bit to the next. So I think it's good that they actually added something like this as well. Chichen Itza. Eats a chicken? Sure.
Welcome, friends, to a new life of freedom, productivity, and peace. Here, you will find no shackles, no whips. You will build your own community, and by your labor, together, we will prosper!
No shackles and no whips? Well, explain this then, De Ferrer. How can we get a whip later in this part of the story, huh? Huh? You lied to us. How dare you? Lucinda, you're so mad at this part. You're able to stay undetected all the way until right before the end of the memory when making a weapon. Yeah, that's the thing too. The enemies in this area, like, they have around corner vision sometimes too, as well. Hey there, Ozjim, welcome on in. This is a fun DLC. Well, it's actually a full game. It originally came out on the PlayStation Vita, and I think it's a bit confusing because they call it Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation, instead of just calling it Assassin's Creed Liberation. But it's understandable to think of it as a DLC, but it's actually a full game. It's just that it was originally released on a format that didn't have games as big as what they were on the consoles, like PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Alright, so it's impossible for me to do these objectives without getting off the ground. So for this part here, the challenge rules aren't going to apply.
Aveline! What a joy to see you here and share the bounty of our life with a new sister. But why have you come? Were you not free already?
When I heard how wonderful the community is, I had to see for myself. Are the rumors true? Are you as happy as they say?
Happier. Our homes are comfortable, food is good and plentiful. It's like Eden.
Are you paid a good wage?
We are allowed to live here and participate in the community, each of us helping in our own way. That's all the wage we need.
So the community owns this land?
Someday we might, once we earn out our contracts. They say the land is valuable, so it may take a long time. It will be worth it.
And if you should wish to leave?
It doesn't happen. No one would ever want that.
No one has ever left.
Shh! You shouldn't talk like that. No one here does. We're so full of happiness, we have no need of unpleasant thoughts, or of those who would stir them.
It really is so wonderful to see you again. Good day.
It always is.
Just smile and nod. It always is a good day. Always. 24 hours of pure... Yes, it is all good. All of it. Nothing bad. What is bad? Nothing. It's all good. Everything. Good. Nothing bad. Why would anyone think that there is any bad? It's only good. Just good. Not bad. No bad at all. Only good exists in this part. Only good. Nothing bad. No bad at all. It is just good. Every day is good. Everyone loves the day when it's day here.
Eat, eat! There will be so much time for talking later.
Eat, huh? Don't mind if I do. Alright, so let's mingle with someone else. So as I said, it's a bit hard to go off the ground and then back on the ground, off the ground, back on the ground in this part, because there's sections where there is nothing to jump up onto. Pyramid of Kukulkan. In Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Kukulkan is involved because it is dealing with the same culture, Maya and Aztec.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And what is your skill? Cleaning? Sewing? Cooking, perhaps?
I prefer hunting.
That's unusual. But you will find yourself in good company. Our dig site leader is also a woman. If you can get along with her, you'll do well here. Of course, everyone does well here. Our strength is using your strength.
Wonderful.
Alright, so we're not inside a memory. There's going to be a lot of moments in this part of the game where the challenge rules aren't going to apply. Alright, may as well grab these chests while I'm coming across them. Okay, so now to go to the next memory.
There's no shortage of material here. Perhaps I can gather the tools to arm myself so I'm ready when the time comes.
Alright, so the challenge rules won't apply for this part. Yeah, listen, they're clotheslined. I love how you can do that. Alright, find wooden planks at construction site. Alright, so challenge rules don't apply. There's no way to get to where I need to go by traversing buildings and stuff alone. Listen, yeah, those animations in AC3 were funny when you have to knock out the Indian soldiers to prevent a fight, but under a timer. It's just like, come here, here's a clothesline for you. And you get one too, and you can have one as well, and you too, and you too. Alright, place a powder keg near the stables. Alright, so I can make the challenge rules apply for this little part here. But when it comes to actually placing the powder keg, I'm allowed to be on the ground. Alright, this looks like it's going to be the closest I can get to the objective, while still remaining off the ground.
What? Whoa! No! Oh, why me?
Stan, you're going to go out to buy unhealthy sweets and drinks. See you all later. That's okay. Stan, thank you for being here and lurking and for chatting. I hope you enjoy.
A little crude, but it's better than nothing.
Alright, so let's see how we go with this and staying off the ground. Too far away.
Stop that!
No. Alright. I'm not going to count this part as ground. I like how the character can't climb up that simply. Not counting that. Oh, come on, game. Surely there's a way for Aveline to jump. There we go.
Of course, you're correct. The company man is already displeased. If we had more people... More people? We've already exhausted the local labor supply. I brought workers from everywhere, as near as Cuba and as far as New Orleans. And in total secrecy. Do you realize how complex and expensive that is? Be patient. Vasquez will soon be in place in New Orleans. He will succeed where Baptiste failed.
Alright, so I have to touch the ground to get to the next part where I want to go to.
Here's the man I was mentioning earlier. What should we do with him?
Educate him on the error of his ways.
You didn't really think we'd let you violate your contract and run off with a head full of secrets, did you?
Oh no, Lucinda, this is a different guy. Yeah, this isn't the guy later in the story. De Ferrer said there was no whips here. So what's this, De Ferrer? Looks like a whip to me. Oh, Ozjim, sorry. Happy hangover.
Have you no respect?
You got a bit of a hangover, Ozjim.
Thank you. Where on earth did you come from?
More importantly, where will you go? To New Orleans? I can arrange for employment.
Huh? For what? My people are the Fawn. I will go back to Africa. Your locket is very unusual. I've seen one before. I assumed it was one of a kind.
It is one of a kind. My mother made it with her own hands. You must be mistaken.
No, the woman who wore the locket was named Jeanne. She was one of the first workers to come here. I remember her fondly.
But that was my mother's name. Where is this woman? I must see her.
I don't know. She lived in a private house at the south edge of the camp.
You should go. De Ferrer will be looking for you. Will you be all right on your own?
Yes. I will hide until the changing of the guard at sundown, and then make my escape again. This time, they won't catch me.
Good luck.
Alright, escape the area. Alright, so the challenge rules don't apply. Because there's only certain points where I can actually stay off the ground. But not all points. Alright, so now let's get up off the ground. Ozjim, you got a little hangover with a big headache. Oh no. I hope you can find something to feel better with soon. Is there anything that you normally eat or drink that can help? Alright, so there's no way to do what I need to do and still stay off the ground, so challenge rules don't apply again now. This is the thing about a challenge like this, which is why I'm not going to do another one after this is done, because it's just... It's really too finicky. Like, there's some parts where you can stay up off the ground, but then there's parts where you can't. I mean, maybe this challenge would be better in something like Assassin's Creed Unity, because you're just limited to one sprawling city.
This was my mother's. I'd know it anywhere.
Ozjim, a birthday party, too much rum. Ah, so that's... yeah. It's funny, whenever I have a hangover, and I haven't had one for a very long time, normally it's salted food is what I really crave, like ham and anything with salt on it.
These could be hers.
Here is the unedited version.
The Erudito cut.
They cannot be trusted.
Thanks for pointing this out, Chazade. Uh-oh, Pritchard's hacked something else again.
I am sorry I am late to our meeting, senor. I had to dispatch guards to hunt down another escapee.
Third one this week, is it not?
I am having him held for you. I know you like to deal with these matters personally.
Always so considerate. I am rather in the mood for a hanging. Have you given any further thought to my suggestion?
Of doctoring the worker's ale? Haven't you had bad luck with poison before?
Perhaps you're right. I don't want a repeat of the Macandal debacle.
Archaeology is a fine, gentle work. I would prefer something that would not impair the worker's abilities. I suggest another festival, a suckling pig. Tell them they are closer than ever to earning their land.
Of course, you're correct. The company man is already displeased.
The company man. Alright, so that shows you the truth of what actually happened in the conversation between those two people. Not the edited version that Abstergo put into this entertainment product for the public to consume. Brutus, you've been hangover free since 2007 and you don't miss them. Well, that's a fair chunk of time, Brutus, so that's cool that you've reached that milestone as well, because that is a very long time. Osjim, so it's the first one for a couple of years, is it? Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, right, too. They all affect everyone in a different way, I guess, and, you know, trying to find remedies for things, like, it won't be a one-size-fits-all kind of stuff. And then I guess, too, there's probably, you know, sometimes someone's body might get so used to being hungover that the effects of being hungover don't really affect them that much anymore. They are as bad. You're craving something greasy, but Sunday night, nothing open. Yeah, that'd be so annoying. The Search of the Cenote. Deciphering clues left behind by her long-lost mother lead Aveline to a cenote's entrance where her treasure hunt begins. Alright, so challenge rules don't apply for this whole memory. There's no point. In this part you died 3 times, did you? Yeah, this can be tricky sometimes, especially with the underwater parts and where you might have the traps to actually avoid while you're swimming. This puzzle can be tricky, but it's not as bad as it might seem. It might be a little bit hard to understand at first how to make the ball move in the direction that you want to, given the fact that you're having to also turn this as well on a certain angle.
How wonderfully useful you are. You remove those who would supersede me in rank. You find pieces of the prophecy disc, saving me the effort. If you weren't my enemy, I would take you for my friend. Our aims must not be so different for all the help you give me.
Alright, just a sound warning. The way that these rocks hit the ground, it actually blows out the audio, so just a heads up for people with headphones on. Yeah, Harbinger. Yeah, it's just no need for them to have done it that way. Doesn't matter how low you have the sound effect volume. I've got the sound effect volume down to 5 out of 10. Sound effects 5 out of 10. Voice 10 out of 10 and music 8. And that would be tied to sound effect volume, those rocks hitting. So even at 5, still pretty loud and like echoey and yeah.
Aveline! Maman? It can't be. I left you in Madeline's protection for your own safety. You and my heart. What cruel destiny brings you now? And carrying the blade of the enemy? Don't tell me. I thought you were dead. Please understand. They would have killed me. Taken my heart. I never wanted to leave you. Is that it? Has Agate sent you here to kill me? Please tell me you do not hate me so much. I would not have left.
Kill you? No, I came here on my own.
Aveline, the disc can never fall into Agate's hands. If it did, everything I've been working to find and protect since leaving Nouvelle-Orléans would be destroyed.
How do you know him? And why are you so afraid?
Long ago. No. I'm sorry, Aveline. I hope you can forgive me someday.
Mama!
With de Ferrer dead and the slave colony free, Aveline travels back to New Orleans. Upon her return, she finds a world very different than the one that she had left. Yet the identity of the company man remains a mystery. maybe Scooby-Doo and friends will be able to actually solve the mystery.
Aveline!
Gerald, you look as though you've seen a ghost. I left Chichen Itza the moment it was secure.
Then you were... successful?
De Ferrer will no longer trouble us.
But there is more to this story.
Always.
I have much to tell you as well. The Spanish are sympathetic to our aims now. New laws may ease your efforts to help the slaves.
Could it be that for the first time, home holds more comfort than conflict?
With you back, it feels like home again. I'm afraid I must now spoil your homecoming with business. There has been strange activity. Men in Spanish uniforms raising havoc in the Bayou.
Still? I thought you said Spanish interests are now aligned with ours.
That's what makes it so... strange.
Are they secretly working for...
That's what we need to find out. I have one need. An informant has seen a man bribing soldiers in town. For whom?
I'll investigate.
Aveline, aren't you forgetting something?
Please, Gerald. Now is not the time.
I merely meant to give you...
Oh, thank you. It's been too long.
That's a cool little detail with Aveline as a character. Getting her weapons back, and it's like it's been too long. Gives you a little bit of insight into the fact that she really, really cares about the weapons and equipment that she has as an assassin. Would have been cool if we saw like a little scene where she was cleaning them or something like that. Just little things like that, which you don't really see that often in the Assassin's Creed series with characters doing things like that. I mean, maybe there are some examples that I'm forgetting of a character in the series cleaning one of their weapons, but it's a cool little detail that Aveline cares a lot about the weapons that she has. And I would imagine that that care would also obviously extend to the maintenance of them as well. Yeah, it was Jim. That would be the final thing when the company man gets revealed. They'd be like, damn it, almost got away with it. Lucinda Bart named his sword, but not a playable character. Yeah, well, that's true too. The naming of weapons and stuff, giving your weapon a name and all that kind of thing. It's like, yes, this is my sword, Bianca. Penthesilea. Penthesilea. Where is she? Have you checked under the table? Okay, so, gotta climb up somewhere. Let's climb up here. Oh, it's going well, Adrian. We just finished sequence 4, and we're into sequence 5 now. So Aveline has been reunited with her her mother, Jeanne. Briefly, but it's good that Aveline knows that she's still alive. I like how that guard wasn't even looking in the direction anymore and is still able to instantly detect me. Not that it matters, because this isn't a stealth challenge, but still. Oh, they were, Levy? The apple waffles were so freaking good? That's awesome that they were. I'm glad that you enjoyed them. I don't think I've had apple waffles before. Would it be anything similar to, like, apple pie? Levy, so filling though. You feel like you ate about 30, but in reality it was barely 2. Yeah, I've definitely had food like that too, where you think to yourself, I could have sworn I ate like, a pound worth of food, but it really wasn't. Alright, this isn't going to work. So let's reload a checkpoint. Levy, you can send the translated recipe. It's like normal waffles, but with apples, cinnamon, and creme fraiche in the dough. Cinnamon is delicious. I absolutely love cinnamon donuts, but also like cinnamon cake as well. Alright, so this time let's actually climb up on a different section. We also make a delicious cinnamon apple cake. That combination just sounds so good. Hey, Ozjim, there is a restaurant here called Hog's Breath. You can get a 2-ounce steak and fries for $25. Haven't had a good steak for a long, long time. Hey, I'm in a bear suit. How's things going, dude? Time to locate the recruiter. Alright, we need to tail him. Target's too far away. Well, why'd you initiate the cutscene then? Good one, game. Activates the cutscene when I'm that far away. Yet is like, hey, you're too far away. We're going to punish you now by having the game desync you. There we go, that worked out well. Oh, that's great. I'm in a bear suit. That's awesome that you're doing really well. And you're going to get some breakfast ready. Lots of bacon. That definitely sounds like a really, really good breakfast. I hope you enjoy that. Especially being able to enjoy it on a Sunday as well. Hopefully the weather is nice for that too. Well, this is the first time I've done a challenge like this one with an Assassin's Creed game. I have done a challenge in the past with Assassin's Creed 2, where when it came to tailing missions, I had to stick to the rooftops and couldn't touch the ground.
As you can see, my employer is prepared to be very generous.
So it seems.
Then you will join our cause?
See.
Stop her!
Alright, so the game automatically put me on the ground. Need to catch the dude.
Fight if you want. You'll still be a slave.
Like how it's desyncing me. Alright. It's a bit tricky to stay on the rooftops while you have someone you need to catch before they get to a certain spot. Alright, so it's put me on the ground automatically. Yeah. I'm in a bear suit. You like the idea of the outfits in this game? Hopefully at some point they do more disguise systems and borrow some elements from Hitman or the black box missions going forward. Yeah, It seems they want to keep the black box missions now.
I have much to tell you as well.
Apparently they're going to be returning in Mirage.
Sympathetic to our aims now.
But having different outfits and different sort of like
efforts to help the slaves.
Pros and cons and different gameplay changes and all that kind of stuff. It definitely is something I think they should do again.
Like home again.
Jimmy had to restart this, accidentally air assassinated him. Oh, did you? Yeah, sometimes the game's not necessarily clear about whether it wants you to just catch them, as in, you know, not kill them or kill them.
I thought you said Spanish interests are now aligned with
They've
ours.
got peanut butter cookies. Oh yeah, Lucinda gonna get some peanut butter cookies.
Are they
That's cool.
secretly working for?
That's what we need to find out.
They're yummy.
I have one need. An informant has seen a man bribing soldiers in town. For whom?
I'll investigate.
Aveline, aren't you?
Out of their suit, yeah. Even Unity had a disguise. It'd be cool instead of just a button prompt. You could plan it out and take the disguises from the environment instead. Absolutely, yeah. The disguise in Unity is very, very handy. But yeah, it's very limited. There's a time limit on it, of course. But also, if you get too close to someone, then they'll actually recognize that you're not who you're supposed to be are. And that actually reminds me too, a lot of people assume that Arno himself is actually literally changing into someone else. But it's just the way that the developers had to make the player be aware that they're actually using the mechanic and that the mechanic's actually working. It wasn't that Arno literally turned into a woman to infiltrate the area or whatnot. I don't really know how some people think that that's how it's supposed to be. It's one of those things where it's not an in-universe thing that's happening that way. It's not even the Animus necessarily doing it. It's just giving us a visual representation of the fact that, hey, the character you're playing as is disguised and they're going to be able to get through this area. We just wanted to make you, the player, know visually that this was working. Jim, you were jumping to another building and missed. Oh no. Levy magical powers. Oh yeah. That's the explanation for everything. Even in games that don't use magic. Adrian Gerald's VA also played Godin in Freedom Cry and Latouche in Unity. That's right, yeah. I'd actually forgotten about his role as Godin in Freedom Cry, but yeah. Yeah, I knew that he played Latouche in Unity. I'm not counting that. Get back up on the barrel. Levy, you're working out now so you can eat more sugar because that's how that works. You'll be lurking. That's totally fair, Levy. That's absolutely no worries. I hope that all goes well. Adrian Godin is kind of curious, a pretty important character, but all his screen time is during gameplay, no cutscenes. Yeah, that's actually a good point. I never really noticed that he wasn't in any cutscenes. Like how Aveline randomly went down the ladder. When I went past there another time, she didn't even interact with the ladder. I like that. It desynchronized me before because they were too far away, yet I was still in the same spot I was when it actually accepted it done. Anyway, now we're not inside a memory, I'm allowed to touch the ground. Actually, before I jump into that one, actually, no, that's not what I want. Actually, it is.
Se blesser.
Nice, we can carry more smoke bombs. And more fast poison darts. So we can now carry 9 smoke bombs instead of 7. And 20 of these poison darts instead of 15. However, as I was saying before, getting refills for this stuff is very expensive. One cartridge is 200 for your pistol. One fast poison dart is 500 each. One berserk poison dart is 1,700 each. And one smoke bomb is 1,400 each. That's how expensive shit is in this game. Yeah, it really is Ozgym. And then you consider buying items like the stopwatches, and some of them are in the hundreds of thousands. Listen, it really encourages you to loot bodies for sure. That's it. And it also helps if you do that trade system thing too. Because it's one of those things where it's very slow at the beginning when you're using that. But as you progress more in that mini game, the amount of money that you can actually make in profit increases to become bigger, to the point where you can actually make, you know, maybe 25,000 or 50,000 profit. But you have to work at it though, and if it's not really a mini game that you are enjoying, it's a bit hard to keep the motivation up for going it. But yeah, I've had to worry about that in a couple of playthroughs in the past where I did 100% completion, where I wanted to get everything though, not just do the synchronization to 100%, but actually buy literally every item and every weapon, every you know, item, every clothing item and all that kind of stuff too. Alright, need to locate the recruiter. So let's climb up here. Have to remain undetected as well. Oh yeah, Lucinda, this part, and if you're trying to do the optional objective as well, destroying him, killing him with bullshit. But yeah, killing him by shooting the explosive barrel is annoying, and also to be remaining undetected, because you got to get down and loot the body as well. Lucinda, you really missed the detection meter instead of the rather instant detections you get in Black Flag and Rogue. You didn't know how good you had it. Yeah, I mean, the tricky thing in those games is that the closer you are to a enemy, the quicker they'll detect you, whereas the further away you are, the slower they'll take to actually detect you. And the game doesn't really point that out to you, though, to make you actually aware. But yeah, if you're far away enough from an enemy, they'll basically like look in your direction, and there will be an icon that appears. But you can actually game them by, if you're in like a hiding area, like the shrubbery, what you can actually do is stick your head out for a little bit, and then when their detection reaches about halfway, go back to hiding, and that'll actually make them go over to you and stuff like that. But yeah, it's definitely understandable to not think that there was one and all that, because the game doesn't really point that aspect out to you. There we go. So that allowed me to kill him and also make sure I don't touch the ground.
Signor, perhaps you underestimate the vast, winding expanse of the Bayou. I will repeat, I need enough men to control all of it. Recruit the entire Spanish army if you must. Yours in absolute discretion. Vasquez.
Vasquez? De Ferrer mentioned him in Chichen Itza. Is he the company man? I must warn Agate and the smugglers.
Travel to the Bayou. Okay, so we're not inside a memory now, so I'm allowed to touch the ground. Oh really, Adrian? Your TV might be broken? Oh no. Hopefully not.
Oh, on cherche à s'échapper?
Encore une ivrogne.
Adrian, yesterday was fine, but today it has a bunch of magenta, cyan, and yellow lines, like someone printed the picture wrong. You got it in April 2022, so you think you still have the warranty. Hopefully you do. But yeah, when that stuff happens, especially if it's only been like, you know, a year, and that since you actually first got it. Adrian, the defect just kind of randomly showed up. You were using the TV normally the entire time. That's the thing that makes you wonder sometimes, is like, what is the thing that's actually triggering the problem in the first place? After discovering a plot to force her mentor out of hiding, Aveline journeys to the Bayou, determined to win back Agate's trust and refusing to give up on the Brotherhood. Adrian could be something as trivial as a poorly inserted ribbon cable or a bad solder point, but you can't open the TV without losing the warranty. Oh yeah, definitely don't want to do that. That's for sure. As much as it would be good to actually be able to, know yourself that way. Afro, who trained her anyway? So I assume it's Agate that gave her training. Because he was the one that recruited her into the assassins. Alright, so we're in the Bayou. We're not in a memory at the moment, so I'm allowed to run on the ground and stuff. But in the Bayou, there's not very many spots where I can continuously just stay off the ground. So there will be a lot of getting... there will be a lot of points where it's like, now I'm allowed on the ground, now I'm not, now I am, now I'm not, now I am, now I'm not. How did she join the Brotherhood if the colonial wing was not entirely destroyed? Well, I mean, it's like the Jedi in Star Wars, how supposedly they were wiped out. But turns out there's actually 50,000 other Jedi that secretly were still alive, Maybe it's one of those situations. For 50,000. I mean, there may as well have been. It's like, you thought there was only this character still alive who was a Jedi. But wait! It turns out there was a secret planet where a few of the Jedi actually got away because they were psychic and they knew that the Order 66 was going to happen. But they knew that they didn't have enough time to tell every other Jedi in the galaxy, so they just decided to go off on their own. So this is the thing, though, with coming up with ideas for things in a pre-existing franchise. It gets to a point where things start to be done just because a wizard did it, kind of thing. It's like, how come this character wasn't around when this was happening? Oh, reasons. They stubbed their toe on Kryptonite. That's why Superman couldn't help Batman during the events of Batman Arkham Knight. He stubbed his toe on Kryptonite, which means he couldn't fly anymore for some reason. And then he wasn't able to help Batman. He's like, I'm sorry, Batman, I'd love to help you and all, but I just can't fly. I stubbed my pinky toe on some Kryptonite. Adrian, clone brain chip wasn't even a thing until 2008 Clone Wars series, when we only had 2D Clone Wars in the prequel trilogy. They were just super loyal soldiers. Yeah. Well, that's the other thing too. Like little bits of things that get introduced that weren't there before, but they add them in as a way to explain why they made a certain change. Alright, so this ground is encountered.
Agate.
Who are you? You look like a faithful student I had once. Long ago. She no longer exists.
Mentor, I know you have doubted me. But please, my absence has not been in vain. Look what I found.
You should have left it where it lay. Do you have any idea of its purpose or power?
I was hoping you could enlighten.
Had you not insisted on dredging it up, no one would need to know. Remove it from my sight. Bury it and forget the spot. Grind it into powder. Plant it under an alligator nest. Let me never lay eyes on it again.
Very well. I had thought you would accept it as confirmation of my loyalty. Someone told me you were looking for it.
You should not allow gossip to infect your mind. Now be gone.
Not before I warn you, Mentor. You are not safe here.
Have I not been telling you this for years? Useless child.
This threat is new and very real. A man, Vasquez.
I am aware. He bribes Spanish troops. But I already have plans to outwit them. I will use their superstition against them.
Let me help.
I know I cannot stop you.
You will see. My loyalty is real.
Very well. Listen closely. See if you can follow this plan. I have planted signs, which our dear European friends find terrifying. If you are able to follow the instructions, you may tail them from sign to sign, and eliminate them silently, giving the appearance of a voodoo curse. Boo!
And then? A curse may frighten them, but will it be enough to stop the flow of new recruits?
More questions. I thought you were here to help. Ah, silence at last. Go now before you spoil this moment.
Alright, so there's a few things here in this to actually consider. Okay, so Agate is like Aveline is like, hey, look, I found this thing. And he's like, do you have any idea of its purpose or power? And then Aveline's like, so tell me more. If you had not insisted on dredging it up, no one would need to know. It's like, dude, just tell her. Like, just be like, okay, So there's a reason why I didn't want you to find that. This is the reason why. Simple. But no. Has to be like, you know, do you have any idea of its purpose or power? I'm not going to tell you, but do you have any idea of it? Do you have any idea of it? I'm not going to tell you about it. If you didn't bring it to me, you wouldn't have to know, kind of thing. And then when Aveline brings up a point about, you know, that would be all well and good as a temporary solution, as short term, but what about a long term solution? Is like more questions. It's like, well, she's just asking a question where it's like, this thing you want me to do is good for the short term, but what about the long term? What are we going to do about the long term? But he doesn't say anything, you know. That's the thing about Agate as a mentor that frustrates me as a fan of the Assassins. It's like, dude, just if you want your student, I mean, Aveline's not his student anymore, but if you want your Assassins to actually trust you, you need to actually, you know, it's a two-way street. You know, you need to trust them with information that they're going to be able to handle, you know, and all that kind of stuff. Stan, say what you want about Sith. They have some top-tier healthcare support and medical system. They actually cured medium rare cooked no legs Anakin. Yeah, I guess you can definitely spin anything as being positive, no matter who the person is in question. Adrian, look what I found. It's clearly broken, idiot. I don't think you can grind pieces of Eden to powder. Yeah, I think that would be a bit harder to do that. Stan, unless you have Isu cheese graters, that could have been the possible way to do it, yes. Adrian, the repercussions of a piece of Eden destruction are pretty inconsistent. A Staff of Eden caused the Tunguska explosion in the Fall comic, while an Apple of Eden only kind of partially destroyed a single building at the start of Syndicate. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, there's probably a technical reasoning you could come up with as to why they're different in each case, but it's one of those things, like, it's like, how long is a piece of string, you know? Listen, you did not like this guy. I don't blame you, Lucinda, at all. He's probably not the best example of an assassin mentor in the series. I mean, yeah, some would say that Achilles is a bad example as well, but if they had done a different reason for what happened in Rogue, then maybe that would be better. But yeah, Agate is one of those mentors that frustrates me. Adrian, Agate be like, I am the long term. It's like, yes, I'm the long term solution. Alright, so we have to find a safe vantage point. Okay, water doesn't count as ground, so that's okay. But this is the intricate little bullshit that you need to deal with when doing a challenge like this. Like, Aveline was well and truly able to stand where I... See, again, this is something else. Like... Up, and up. Alright, across there. Now, this bit here, Aveline. Okay, now don't drop off of it. Don't drop... See? Little idiosyncratic things like this. And this tree is pretty misleading because it's one of those ones where they have some... Yeah. It's one of those trees where you think you can climb all around it and all over it, but then the game is like, no, you can't. Lucinda, okay, Rod, it's time for you to get your day started. Hope you have a great rest of your stream and good luck with the challenge. Thank you so much, Lucinda. Thanks for the best luck, the good luck wishes as well with it. I hope you have a great start to your stream as well. Would like to highly recommend people check out Lucinda's channel if you haven't before. Is doing a stream of Fallout 76. Is also playing through the Assassin's Creed series on Mondays and Tuesdays. Currently playing through Assassin's Creed Rogue. And will also be playing through Assassin's Creed Unity, Syndicate, Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla as well. Is also a fan of the Resident Evil series. And also has a playthrough of Deathloop going on as well. So a great streamer with a great channel. So highly recommend. Absolutely no trouble for the shout out, Lucinda. More than happy to give you a shout out. I hope you have a great start to Fallout 76. Okay, so I'm going to allow touching the ground here, and here, and here. Climb up. 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 Not down. Up. Alright. Alright, not going to count this ground. Or this ground. Or this. Or this. Or this all here. Alright. Now I can't touch the ground. For now. Adrian, some AC art book also showed that an apple of Eden can be divided into two halves, but that has never happened anywhere. These trees don't feel as intuitive as the ones in AC3. Yeah, I'd definitely say the ones in AC3, even though this is, very similar feel to AC3, that it's not as well done as it is in AC3. But yeah, I mean, that's the other thing too, like little things here and there that contradict things, and it just creates a situation where trying to wrangle all these bits of information together and course correcting things can be a big job. So I love how this whole mission is like a reference to the mission in Assassin's Creed Revelations.
It's
How childish can you be? It is nothing.
What are you doing?
What do you think? I'm removing it.
You can't. We'll be cursed.
Oh, we'll be cursed. Truly, I'm terrified.
Where you have to make the soldiers think there's a Romani curse in Assassin's Creed Revelations. Where you have to poison the people carrying the box. And in this situation, in this game, we have to poison these enemies here to make them think that the place is cursed.
It's true. Move out! It's not safe here.
And the other thing is too, like, it's one of those things where whoever is in charge of the the overall trajectory of everything in the series and where it's going. Alright, so desynchronized, which is okay. It's like, for example,
it's true.
If you were allowed to write a story,
move out! It's not safe here.
For like a book, but they never gave you any parameters that you had to follow, and so you come up with whatever you want to come up with. I'm allowed to touch this ground here. You come up with whatever you want to come up with. And there's no oversight to go, hang on, you decided to add this, but we can't add this because it contradicts this other thing. If that's not there, and the product goes through, and no one notices it, then what happens, unfortunately, is people who read that might be like, so this is how it works. But then,
Dios santo, more voodoo!
The contradiction of it gets thought to be canon, because no one said, hey, you can't actually have that.
Come back! I will have you court-martialed!
Can't have that officially be what happened. And so things could slip through the cracks.
Keep moving, man! And this time, keep your eyes open and wits about you. May God watch over us.
And then if someone's trying to course correct things, they've got to try and figure out ways to make whatever was done in the thing that's not supposed to be canon and actually make it canon and try to make it fit. Which in any franchise, when you're trying to do that, and there's no one checking to make sure that what you're actually adding does make sense, then it creates a Wild West situation where anyone just comes up with anything. But to come up with a reasoning for something, you know, you almost have to deconstruct the very thing itself and then figure out how you could pull it apart and be like, right, this component is why it shouldn't be considered canon. So let's make it, which is why it shouldn't be considered canon. So let's make it canon by adding something extra that wasn't there, you know. That can further convolute things too, where what you introduce could cause problems. Like if you had a magic rock, and you said, here's a magic rock, let's give it to this character. And you don't actually go into detail about how the magic rock works. Then someone writing the story can go, okay, so in my story, I want the magic rock to turn the person invisible. And so you go, right, okay. So if the rock makes people invisible, then it means that I can use that in my story using the same magical rock. Then it becomes an established thing that this magical rock lets you go invisible. Now if someone else comes along and goes, you know what? They haven't said that this magical rock can't make people fly, so I'm going to make the magic rock make people fly. And so then someone comes along and goes, oh, okay, so the magic rock can make people fly, can also make people turn invisible. Now, because they haven't mentioned that the magic rock can't make someone teleport from one point to another, I'm going to make it actually do that, you know. So they keep on building and building upon what the magical rock can do. And there's no limit with that. So you can come up with anything that you want the magical rock to do in your version of the story, and it can still make sense. But if someone was like to say, okay, this magical rock can only do A, B, and C, it can't do anything else, and then someone comes along and goes, I don't care about that rule, I'm going to make it do something else. That's not being consistent with what's been established as the only things that can be done. So it's one thing to introduce new elements to something, but it's another thing to make sure that what you're introducing doesn't contradict what's come before. Because if it does, then the next person has to try and figure out a way to explain it as to why it shouldn't be the case. That's why you need oversight. So someone can go, I know you want to do something new with this magic rock, but the magic rock can't do that. So you need to think of another idea that the magic rock could do. Just to use that as an example. And your magic rock that I've used in this example can be changed into whatever is in a franchise. Like, you know, you could make it an artifact in an Indiana Jones story. You could make it a piece of Eden in the Assassin's Creed series. You could make it a special location in, like, whatever franchise you want to do, like in Stargate or something. You know, the actual magic rock is a location and all that kind of stuff. Everything that you're introducing, you need to have some kind of, like, things that it can do and things that it can't do. Otherwise, people take the fact that there's anything it can do and just convolute things. Because then they go, we can make this thing cancel out the other thing. Simply because if the thing itself can do whatever we want it to, then surely it means we can make it not do the things that someone else said it could. And that creates, you know, inconsistencies in how things work, which is something that needs to be kept out an eye for when you're creating something as well.
Bonjour, smugglers!
Aveline!
It's been a long while.
Too long. Listen, have you noticed any unusual activity on the Bayou?
Other than ours, you mean?
We have been noticing rather a lot of men in Spanish uniforms. Although I would question both their manhood and their allegiance.
They've been bribed by a man named Vasquez. He works for the...
Vasquez? Sacre bleu, I know his name. I heard soldiers talking. He plans to divert a supply ship tomorrow.
Unless we divert it first.
I like how you think. Have I not said it before, Elise? I love how she thinks.
I'm in the mood for a diversion myself.
If I may make a suggestion. The lighthouse on Lake Pontchartrain. If you, tamper with it, perhaps that ship may never reach her berth.
Roussillon, I like how you think. Have I not said it before, Elise? I love how he thinks.
Alright, avoid killing anyone. Do not swim. Alright, so let's see what our options are for climbing stuff. Alright, so I'm not going to count the ground against the challenge rules here or here. Let's get up to this tree top here, see how things pan out. Alright, I think what I need to do is swim. Alright, so water I'm not counting as ground. There's a weird glitch that can happen in this game when it comes to having Aveline swim versus dive underwater. Like, I'm holding what I need to hold down for her to swim, but it still thinks that I'm wanting her to go under the water for stealth purposes. In fact, it's not letting me climb up this part. There we go. Alright, so I'm allowed to touch the ground for this little bit here. I've just been thinking about this type of challenge, and it's not really ideal for a game where you have an area like this, Bayou. It'd be better to do it in a game like Assassin's Creed Unity, for example. There are water parts in that, of course, but you have way more things that you can be on that's not ground. For my annual playthrough of Assassin's Creed 2 this year, I did a playthrough of that game with a no swimming challenge, which meant any water that was deep enough to be considered swimmable in, if I fell in it, it was against the challenge rules. I don't care, game. I wanted to kill someone. There we go. Be right back. Alrighty then. I think I'll do this next memory to finish off this sequence and then call it a stream. There was a moment ago where it came up on my end in the chat that it was loading the chat for me. So I don't know if anyone has put any messages in that might have been covered by that. Because whenever you're streaming and you see in the chat it's saying welcome to the chat room, you know it's a situation where there's been a disconnect of chat. Hey there, Keone. Welcome on in. You made a mistake for buying Madden 24. In what way? Was it too expensive, or it's not a good game? Only every year of Madden sucks, but somehow you end up getting it lol. Oh, I see. Well, you never know. There might be one that comes out eventually that's, you know, really, really good. But yeah, that'd be the thing I imagine with games that are sports games that have a yearly release, like forever. Like, I don't know when the first Madden game was, but I remember when it was like, you know, Madden 1999 and stuff like that. And now it's become like Madden 24 without the 20 in front of it. Although maybe it has for the title of it. I haven't really looked.
Are you drunk already?
Were you not more fun when we met? I seem to remember.
Nothing. You remember nothing.
Right. Because I'm so drunk.
He's so drunk that he drank a lot. Alright, so stolen goods. This is the last memory for this sequence. So I'll do this and then call it a stream.
Aveline, you've done it! The ship, she is stuck in the mud!
Now you will reap your reward. And I will cut Vasquez down to size.
And then we celebrate!
Aveline, I'll gather my men. We'll meet you at the ship.
And the plundering will begin!
Alright, so where the game has put me is on the ground. So it doesn't count. Alright, let's go into the canoe. Alright, so let's disembark. Not going to count this or this or any of this. Alright, allowed to touch the ground.
Elise, are your men ready?
Ready? They can barely contain themselves.
Please, help me do something about those guards before our men rush the ship and get shot full of ore.
Alright, so this part here we have to stay on the ground. Because we'll need to transfer these boxes.
There! Oh no!
Wow, Aveline, that was spectacular.
I'm only sorry Vasquez wasn't on board.
Now. I wouldn't be too sorry just yet. Perhaps this will be of help.
The documents found aboard the Spanish ship contained orders to travel to Chichen Itza and reclaim the worksite. Fearing for her mother's safety and perhaps hoping to find the second half of the prophecy disc, Aveline returns to Chichen Itza. However, that's where I'm ending the stream. The next stream of this will be next Saturday. The next stream you'll see from me will be GTA 5. Thanks for watching. So I'd like to recommend people check out Lucinda as well as Amateur Tech. Lucinda is doing some Fallout 76, is also playing through Assassin's Creed series, currently on to Assassin's Creed Rogue, is also a fan of the Resident Evil series, and Amateur Tech is doing some playthroughs of the old school Tomb Raider games. Another great streamer, so highly recommend checking out their channels if you haven't before. We're going to go and raid out to Crocodiles, who's playing some Pokemon Platinum version. Here's a raid message for, well, a general raid message. Here's a follower raid messages. And that's a subscriber rage message. Raid message. Thanks for watching, everyone. Until next time.